All right, guys, it is official. I am headed to Oklahoma. And if you've been watching the last few videos of mine or last handful of videos, I'm building a cabin and have been trying to build and close on a construction loan up in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Well, the unfortunate side of things is if there was something that could go wrong in this transaction, it seems like it would go wrong. 2.5 months later, which was expected to be about a 30-day close, we are finally closing. Now, to give you guys just a brief rundown on the issues that came up, my first contract that I accepted that was well over asking, decided not to close. When they decided not to close, I held them to the contract, which delayed going into the next contract even longer. Eventually, I got what I needed from that first contract and then moved on to the second contract. Well, the second contract closed, I performed my 1031 exchange, and then I had an issue with the lender in terms of approving me the week of closing. So a ton of stuff has gone wrong, but at the end of the day, what matters most is in about 45 minutes, I'll be signing and I will officially own a construction loan to build an incredible cabin in Oklahoma. All right, guys, I'm officially closed on my cabin. I'm standing in a cabin that I viewed about 3 months ago, technically on my first trip to Broken Bow. Now, I viewed this cabin. I loved a lot of aspects of this cabin. Mine's gonna be bigger and better than this, but there are some things about this cabin that I wanna break down for you guys so you'll get an understanding of what my cabin will look like. So first things first, I'm standing in kind of the entry living room, kitchen, dining area. Behind me, they do have cabinets now in place here. And off to the right behind here, you have the master or primary bedroom. This is obviously going to be the living room space. A lot of this space is going to be similar to the house that I'm building or the cabin that I'm building. Now, in the main space here, I do have a primary bedroom that will be my bedroom, but in my cabin, as of right now, this cabin doesn't have, obviously, and it's not going to have anything additional beyond here. This is the end of the cabin. Now, my cabin is gonna actually have an additional master or primary bedroom connected to this wall, basically. So you're gonna have an entry probably where this window is that will enter into a secondary primary bedroom. Now, on top of that, we've got some windows to the exterior here. This will actually be more than likely a bit of a hallway leading to the bunk room and the additional space for the cabin. One of the best things about this cabin and the builder that I chose to move forward with is the fact that they've really gone a little bit more modern with the cabin. Now, we are gonna be leaving the main cabin here and we're gonna be heading towards what they call a bunk room as well as additional bedrooms. One of the biggest comments that I got from this style of home is the fact that, like, hey, if you've got multi-generational families or mom and dad that aren't necessarily comfortable with their kids living technically in a whole different household. I'm walking on the deck right now and we are outside of the cabin and we're gonna actually be heading straight inside of a separate cabin. Now they're two cabins, but they're all one cabin in itself. Now my particular cabin is actually gonna have a hallway that leads to exactly what we're looking at here. So this is the bunk room. Now the bunk room is gonna have its own full bath and it's gonna have more than likely, I think, 2 queen bunk beds here. So if you think about queen, in reality, probably small kids, but in theory, it can sleep an additional 8 people in this room. With 8 people, you obviously want your own bathroom. Now this is also going to have a pool table, and it's going to have a lot of other games for guests here. But the biggest thing for me, being an individual that wakes up early and goes to bed early, there's going to be a considerable distance from this bunk room and where probably everyone is hanging out and having fun late at night, and my primary or master bedroom all the way on the other side of the cabin. Now on top of that, my bunk room is also going to have what this cabin has, which is an additional 2 full bedrooms. So you've got a bedroom here, it's taped off, but you've got a full bathroom and closet. And then on the other side, the very exact same thing. You've got a full bedroom, bathroom, and closet on the other side. Now they've actually updated a lot since we've been here the last couple months, but this is a good idea of what the cabin will look like in the building stage when it comes to mine, although there are going to be a couple, I guess, things that he's learned from building this cabin, and he's gonna adapt and change it with mine. Now another thing that's changed from this cabin build as well as what mine is gonna look like. Now mine is gonna actually have something similar to what you're looking at right here. This is where they're going to, or more than likely, are going to be putting a hot tub. Now my hot tub actually is going to be on my side of the cabin next to my bedroom. On the other side of the cabin, technically where the bunk room and additional bedrooms are, is gonna be a pool spa, which is a larger, not as hot tub that you can actually swim in a little bit. It's a little bit larger as well. Deck size, I think he was saying this is about 1,200 square feet. To give you guys just a little bit of an idea, I'll show you behind here. You've got the front entry to the house. You've got this space here, as well as, like I was mentioning before, the space for the spa, and then you've got a little bit of deck covered space over here. And again, if this is about 1,200 square feet, I'm not gonna have double this, but I'm gonna have close to. I have about 2,100 square feet of decking space. So even quite a bit more than what you're looking at here. So one thing about this cabin that I'm not inputting with my cabin is this backyard courtyard they have here. Now, with a little less decking space, about 1,200 square feet versus 2,100 square feet where I'm looking at, they need probably a little bit additional space in the backyard for games or activities and whatnot. Now, my cabin's going to have a drop down area, probably where you're gonna have a fire pit or a little bit of room for games, but nothing this substantial entirely made out just for a courtyard. The actual owner of all of that land up on Carter Mountain and Broken Bow was owned by an individual that decided to keep about 5 acres of land. Now that 5 acres of land is 2 different lots, technically lots 74 and 75, and 74 and 75 has incredible views. Those actually may be for sale eventually, but you know, obviously I've already closed on my cabin. It's not something I'm gonna be looking into, but whoever does get those lots, they're an absolute incredible view. We got to meet some of the excavators that are gonna be tearing down a lot of the pine trees that are on my lot. They're gonna start as soon as next week. I also got a little bit of an update in terms of time frame with my builder. We're looking at about 6 to 8 months. It's the beginning of May now, fast forward, maybe mid-May, so we're looking at end of the year, maybe January of 2023, which timeline will work out perfect for what I'm wanting to do with the cabin. I'm wanting to have all of the income and expenses start in 2023, meaning all of the write-offs that I have for furniture, I want to be able to write them off in 2023, and a majority or a lot of the income that I make in 2023 will be tax-free because I paid all that money to furnish the Airbnb. We've got about an hour left in our drive before we are back in Dallas. Round trip, it takes about 6 hours, 3 hours one way, 3 hours back. It's a perfect opportunity for my friends, colleagues, just me and my dogs if I want to be able to go up for a weekend, a long weekend, enjoy a nice cabin. But really when it comes to updates on my Broken Bow cabin, over the next 6 to 8 months, I'm gonna be updating you guys in terms of all the good and bad things that I'm sure that will go wrong. Hopefully, not many bad things, but as we're aware with real estate, there could be potentially some delays, there could be some changes in terms of the house, we'll see. But hopefully it goes smoothly. I'll update you guys along the way and then give you an incredible walkthrough when all is said and done. Once again, guys, I thank you for all of your support. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the next update.